Yeah, so today I did the Bijou, which is a classic cocktail that translates in French to jewel. Each component of the cocktail here is meant to represent a precious gemstone. We have a little bit of orange bitters that represents a garnet or maybe an amber. This chartreuse is going to represent the emerald or a jade. This here, the Botanist Distiller's Strength Gin, is going to represent a diamond. And our sweet vermouth here is going to represent something like a ruby. All of those combined in equal parts with a few dashes of our orange bitters, stirred over ice and served in a Nick and Nora with a orange twist expressed over the top and a maraschino cherry. That is the Bijou.
So what would you call this?
So that is a Bijou. It is a classic gin cocktail. There's a couple different routes you could take with as far as presentation goes. You could do it on a big rock, but given that we have a sexy cherry on there,
Yeah.
we want to put it in that Nick and Nora. It's a little bit more appropriate for that garnish, and honestly, it's a little bit more picturesque in general.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna take a photo of this. With the sunset? And that's crazy, right as we start filming, the sunset kicks in, which is
Meant to be, man.
This is nice. So what inspired this?
So, whoa, it's not my cocktail, but bijou is the French word for jewel, and each component of the cocktail is there to represent some sort of precious gem. So we have orange bitters in there. That's going to represent something like a garnet. We have green chartreuse, which is going to represent something like an emerald. We've got gin, in this case the Botanist Distiller's Strength, and that represents a diamond. And that sweet vermouth represents a ruby. So I can't take credit for the idea, but I sure can make a good bijou.
Well, it is very, very good. Very good. This is...
I think it's funny because it kind of disguises itself as like a Manhattan or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually a gin cocktail.
You know, the crazy thing is, if you were to just sit this in front of someone, especially if they didn't have a gin background, and you ask them, hey, what is this made of? Mm-hmm. They would probably tell you like some type of light, I don't even know if there's a such thing as that, but like a light whiskey or a scotch.
Yeah, I could see somebody who has like a little experience with different liquors.
Yeah.
Or spirits, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure that they would taste those botanicals from the chartreuse and the gin, and maybe that would be a key. But as far as appearance goes, that is a very light-looking Manhattan.
So I've been asking everyone their story.
Oh man.
What is your story?
I don't have too much of a story, but my pops my whole life owned nightclubs and bars and country music dance halls growing up, and I always told myself I was never going to be in the bar industry. And then I decided I didn't want to go to college, so I kind of fell into this service industry, and when I became a bartender for the first time, I realized how much fun it is to educate people on these cocktails and how it really is its own sort of skill set. I don't know how useful you could argue that it is, but it's definitely interesting to say the least, and certainly keeps the time moving by when you're clocked in to work.
Well, I'll say this, the people who you think are important come to you to make their day easier and to keep going.
They say that bartenders are like therapists in a way.
Yeah.
And I feel like therapy would be a whole lot more fun if you could have liquor.
It would. Man, you would open up so much to your therapist if you could just drink during your session.
You're like, that was a good breakthrough. Let's have a shot.
So many breakthroughs. It's like you had a breakthrough shot. Be nice.
Underpaid therapist. There you go.
Well, I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you.
It's cheaper than therapy.
You guys could be making $1,000 an hour,
We could.
Yeah.
but there would be no alcohol involved. It'd be coffee and tea and sorrow. So how'd you end up at Crown Block?
Oh, well, I was lucky enough to hear through the grapevine that they were reopening this space in Reunion Tower. And funny enough, I actually had never been up here until I came to apply for my job here at Crown Block.
Really?
Yes. It's, you know, I've met quite a few people who are the same case. They're like, I've never been up here, but I came to Crown Block for that reason, essentially. But yeah, I mean, I started here as a bar back, and very quickly I found myself.
You started here as a bar back?
Started here as a bar back. I opened up the restaurant, I set up our batching program, and about a month in, I became a bartender, and from there, I really improved as far as my knowledge and skill is concerned.
Are you? I'm pretty sure you're sure. But are you sure?
I'm positive. I do have plenty of cocktail experience in the back, or in the past.
Yeah.
Plenty, but starting here, I came about a week before the restaurant opened, and they already had all the spots filled.
Oh,
so
okay.
I came in and I was like, should I be a server, or should I start as a bar back and hold out and become a bartender? And I just love working behind the bar, man.
Was that like trench work, being the bar back?
Oh no, dude. For me, it's cathartic and organized and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as always, your reputation precedes you. Made yet again another classic hit. That's cool.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's the way you do it.